Hello, my name's Samantha and this is day 3 of my Christmas in July vlogs. I am recording a little bit early today because the kids will be home from school soon and I have it, once they get home from school it's going to be very busy and I am very tired. I'm doing the whole perimenopausal no sleep thing, which is super fun. So I'm going to try and have an early night tonight because I think I got about 3 hours sleep last night. But we shall see. We shall see. If my hormones let me actually sleep tonight, that would be nice. Anyway, enough about my hormones. I'm sorry, that's not a good way to start the video, is it? First things first is, I know I said that I was going to try and finish the section, but there's a lot of counting involved. It's not difficult now that I know what I'm doing, but because there's a lot of counting involved and my brain is not braining because I'm so tired, I only did my 8 rows. But look how cute he is. He's got a little face now. This is going to be his pom-pom. And then his hat will come up here a little bit. So I'm almost finished with the pink section. And then I think, what does it go on to after that? Let's have a look. It goes on to this colour, the Aster. So this is my HoHoHo blanket by Rosina Plain, and this is my month-long project that I'm doing. It's available on Ravelry for £7.95. It was a cal last year. It's no longer a cal. You can buy the pattern and it all comes in one very large 40-something page pattern. Like, honestly, it's overlay mosaic crochet. I had never done it before and now I have Santa faces. So, you know, there's a lot of information in the pattern. It's a really good pattern, definitely well worth the money. And yeah, you can do it in whatever colours you want as well. And this was a Stylecraft colour pack that I got when the pattern was released, but I don't think you can get them anymore. So we've got white, fuchsia purple, Aster and Empire. It's all Stylecraft Special DK. I'm using my 4mm hook for it. And if you haven't done overlay crochet before, looks like that in the front, looks like that in the back. And you always have the right side facing you. You just work along your row, cut the yarn. You only ever work with one colour at a time. You end up with all these. So you can either leave fringes, or there's a pattern in, no, there's not. There's a border in the pattern where you don't have to sew in any ends. It's like an envelope border. You crochet up 2 sides and then you attach it, from what I can gather. I've not really looked at the border properly yet. So I'm doing 8 rows on this a day, and then it should be finished by the end of the month. So yeah, I'm enjoying doing it. It's just that today my brain is very foggy, so I couldn't quite get it finished. Right, my second thing that I'm working on through the course of the month. I did 1 repeat on these. It's my socks. They are, well, you can see the little flecks in there. They are made with West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. The colour is Candy Cane. Oh, we almost focused there. Come on. The colour's Candy Cane. I don't think you can get it anymore. It's their special colourway from a couple of years ago. It's just the green and the white, and then it's not white, it's a creamy colour. And then it's got the little flecks of the red and the green going through it as well. I'm doing it on 2.5mm needles. These, I remembered, these are Addi Turbos. So yeah, I'm doing magic loop with my very short loop because I don't like having lots of cable. And all I'm doing with these, the plan is just to do a tube, and then at the end I'll cut it up and either make one really long pair of socks or a longish pair and a pair of shorties. we'll see how much length I actually get out of it, because I've actually got quite big feet. I'm not the smallest person in the world. I'm 5'9", but I've got like my feet are a UK 7, sometimes an 8, depending on the shoes, because apparently women's, oh my god, complete tangent here. So my boyfriend has never bought women's clothes before. He's a guy, he buys guys' clothes, and he thought that getting like a, what size was it now? A size 8, because I had said to him, because I'm currently a size 20, I'm trying to diet, and I said I just want to get into a size 18, and that's going to be my first mini goal. And he's like, he's looking at me. Now, in the UK, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but in the UK, women's sizes go 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, blah, 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 blah. It goes in increments of 2, and there is no correlation for these sizes. Up until I had kids, I was like a size 10. So, I could be a size 10 in one shop. I go to a different shop, I'm a size 14. I go to a different shop, I'm a size 8. It's crazy. Men's clothes are done in inches. So, if you're a 30-inch waist, you go into the shop and you pick up a 30-inch waist, and that's how much it measures. So, he thought I had a 20-inch waist. And I'm like, I love your enthusiasm, but please engage your brain. Do I look like I've got a 20-inch waist? Bless him. And he couldn't believe it. It's like, why? Why is it like that? I don't know. I don't know. It just is. It would be much, much easier if everybody did inches or centimetres. Or I don't know, because this country also can't decide whether it wants to be metric or imperial. Depends what you're looking at. Anyway, that was a massive tangent about absolutely nothing. What was I even talking about? Yeah, so shoe sizes, I'm a size sort of 7 to 8, so I don't know what I'm going to get sock wise, but I would like to get a pair of really long winter socks to go under my knee-high boots, because I wear a lot of knee-high boots in the winter time. Right, the next thing that I made, do you remember, was it yesterday? I showed you the little felting things. This one. Now, I thought, looking at the picture, that was just going to be a flat thing. Because I've made one before. Give me a second. Ooh. This is another one that I'd got at the same time, and that's flat. Like the fox is slightly 3D, but the base on it is flat. So I thought this was the same, and it turns out it's not. Because reading instructions, which it's actually got decent instructions on it as well. This was just a kit, part of like a multi-pack grab bag from, I think it was probably AliExpress or something. And I've got a little bauble, a little roundish. I mean, the joy of needle felting is you can always go back and poke it a little bit more. I don't want to swing it around too much because I've glued in the top thing, it's not quite dry yet. So we've got a little Christmas tree. This one's meant to have a candy cane on the front, but I decided the candy cane looks stupid and I don't want to do it. So we've got this instead. So we've got the little Christmas tree, little squishy felt ball, and we've just put that in there, and I'll just hang that on my Christmas tree. So I've just used some glue to glue the bow on, and there's an eye pin in there as well. It came with all the hardware, like everything came in it. I'm going to trim the bow up a little bit as well now that it's glued on. I meant to do it as soon as I glued it and then I forgot because of course I did. But that's another little thing finished, and it's super cute. I like needle felting because it's very therapeutic. If you haven't done needle felting before, I'll show you the needles that you use. They are very, very, very sharp needles. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, but they've got little barbs on them. Maybe just about see there. And then you just like use these to poke the thing into the shape that you want. All it does, it's like it mats the fluff up. I used to do quite a lot of needle felting, and you just sit and you stab it. Like you try not to stab your fingers because it hurts, but you sit and poke it until it's the shape that you want, and then you can always add more to it. And yeah, it's a fun hobby. It's probably not great for little kids. It's the sort of thing that looks like it would be great, but the needles are incredibly sharp, and they're also very fragile because they're so thin. So you do have to be a bit careful with them. But yeah, it's definitely, and this is needle felted as well. And I think he's very cute. Did that ages ago, he hangs up over there on my drinks cabinet. Right, so what have we done? We've done the blankets, we've done the needle felting ball, we've done the socks. I think I only have one more thing that I've done. And this is another thing that I don't really see people doing. And I don't know why I decided to start this. I'll show you the picture. This has been in my Ravelry queue for literally years. Right. See, double knitting snowflake scarf. Right. I'm trying not to get the glare on this, but it is difficult. So there we go. That's what it will look like, hopefully. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. Now, double knitting is a technique. It is also a weight of yarn, and I think in the US it's like a baby weight. Is that what you call double knitting? Double knitting yarn, DK yarn. But double knitting is also a technique. So if you see on there, that's on my cast on stitches. You're essentially knitting two things at the same time, and then you cross over. Now on these bits where it's not attached, you'll see like where you're knitting two panels at the same time, which is why you have these on here. And how you manipulate the yarn for doing your knits and purls is how you end up with this. And then because I've got hardly any there, you can't really see it, but it's enclosed up the edges as well. And so you end up with, I'll have the silver on this side with the blue, and it is exactly mirrored on this side with the blue and the silver. So I haven't done any double knitting for ages, and I quite fancied doing some, so I thought, you know, I'll see if I could find any, because I was looking for Christmassy patterns in my Ravelry queue so that I could sort of double dip with my Stitcher Library thing. And I saw this and I thought, I'll give that a go. Completely had forgotten how to do double knitting, so I had to cast it back on a couple of times. So for this, I'm just using paint box yarns. Oh my gosh, let me get the colours. I'm not being very well organised here, I'm sorry. Oh, and after all that, I don't actually have the colours on them. So that's the blue colour. Are we focusing? So that is colour 233, and this one is colour SA61. There you go. And it is just paint box, simply iron. It's nice, it's squishy, It says that it takes like the yardage of 2 of these. What I did with the pattern, it's a free pattern, but you have to get the free pattern from the blog. So what I've ended up doing, and I can show you this because it's a free pattern. You go to the blog and then they have, I think it's a Japanese site. It might be Chinese, it might not be, I don't know. It's Asian looking writing that's on it. I wouldn't like to say for definite which language it is. I'm sorry if, yeah, sorry, I don't know. There's some English bits on it for you to go and get the download, and then the download takes you to a page where you have these. Now you can't print them off directly from that page, so what I did was I got them up on my tablet, took pictures with my phone, and then printed them off. There's 3 different patterns, and what you do with the pattern is you do the first chart, then the second chart, and then the third chart, and then like going from bottom to top, and then you just work your way back, going from top to bottom, doing chart 3, then chart 2, then chart 1. So I mean, there's enough English there to explain all of that. It's just the actual getting of the pattern that was a little bit of a faff, because there was a thing that I wanted you to sign up for in order to be able to download it, and I was like, I am not signing up for anything if I can't read what I'm signing up for. You know, because you can't be too careful. So, yeah, I'm getting on with that a little bit. Again, I didn't do very much because brain is not braining. There is a very good chance. Oh, I have got one more thing. There is a very good chance that I'm just going to sit and maybe knit on my sock tonight. I didn't. Oh, that looks rude. It's because it's not got the back stitch on it. Right. It's supposed to say deck the halls. But because it's not got the back stitch on it, back stitch makes the difference. I hate doing back stitch. Look how much back stitch is on this. All of that white, all around all the letters, all around all the border. I hate doing back stitch. I fall in the camp of I hate doing the back stitch, but I love how it looks. But I will literally not buy patterns if they have too much back stitch on them. There's a lot of absolutely beautiful patterns out there. It's a big thing with like Russian and Ukrainian designers. They like to use a lot of back stitch, and it makes the patterns look beautiful. It really does. But I don't like doing it, so I don't do the patterns. So I think for the rest of the evening, after the cherubs come home and I've fed them, listen to their tales of woe, because, you know, school is just like full of tales of woe and drama. It's terrible. It's a hard life when you're 8 or 11. I've got a busy week this week. My 11-year-old is going to go away on a school trip. He finishes primary school in 3 weeks, and they have a school trip where they go and stay away for a couple of nights. So he'll be going on Friday and coming back on Monday. So I need to think of some fun things to do with my 8-year-old while his brother's not here, because usually they are joined at the hip. So I think we are going to get sushi. I need to find, if anybody has suggestions for a horror film that's not actually scary, because my 8-year-old has this thing where he's like, oh, I love horror this, horror that, but obviously I don't let him watch horror films because he's 8. So I don't mind like a little bit of violence and stuff because he understands that that's just on a film. But if anybody can recommend like a not scary horror that has absolutely no nudie bits in it, because we do not do nudie bits, I would love that, because the plan is to have one of the nights where we get sushi and watch a movie, and then I don't know what we're going to do for the rest of the time. He wants to make a quilt, so we'll probably spend a little bit of time doing that as well. And yeah, oh right, we're on 20 minutes. I'm going to go. I'm on day 3 and these are already getting long. I'm sorry, I know I promised you short. When I'm tired, I'll waffle a lot more than I usually do. Right, so what day is it? It's Monday, so I will be back. I do have a Stitcher library to film, which I should have done a couple of weeks ago and forgot. So I need to do a Stitcher library, and then yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for Christmas vlogs day 4. So hopefully I'll see you then. Bye.